But I have a question for Michael on the Andy Martino thing. And me and you are huge Buck Showalter fans. I think you let him off the hook a little bit with Buck. I'm not too sold on Stearns, and I'm still out on the fence with Alonso. You should drop Alonso down to the eighth hole and bring Marte back up.
Yeah, I mean, Alonso with the imperfections in his game, Keith, is certainly not an 8-hitter. I mean, he's got to be in the middle line. The team can't score runs. They scored one run yesterday. They can't score against anybody. I don't think that's the answer. And letting him off the hook. Listen, we have put in for David Stearns. And I am waiting for him to finally come on the show. And it won't be a contentious question, but how do you not talk to a veteran manager, at least to, debrief him? And to give him the courtesy of saying, this is why we're not letting it happen. This is why we're letting you go. He had the previous GM do it. It's terrible. I mean, to start off on that foot is just awful. It's just awful. And I'm not saying because Buck Showalter's a friend. Maybe I am. But it doesn't seem right.
His replacement's a friend of yours, too.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem right, Don, that you would fire somebody and not talk to them.
I really need to know. Because I'm sorry. I'm a Met fan, but it comes across as gutless.
Unless what Andy was hinting at, Andy probably has some kind of line to Cohen where Cohen was done with Buck.
All right, well, but if so who let him go?
Epler.
But who wanted him gone? And
I believe that David Stearns, one of the contingencies when he was hired, said, I got to bring in my own manager. I don't want that guy.
I just think that the guy in charge, whether it's Cohen, whether it's Stearns, has to be the guy to say, you're gone.
I couldn't agree more. You got to show some class. And as you said, it's gutless.
Yeah, and if Epler was the one that wanted him gone, I mean, I don't think he had the ability to supersede his president and his owner.
No way.
So it comes across as gutless. Now, come on the air and tell us the reasoning. Maybe if you tell us why, we'll understand it better. Maybe that's just the way of the world now in baseball, Michael. Your underlings do the dirty work, I guess. I mean, it wouldn't be the first company to do it that way. Are the people that will eventually let us go the ones that actually made the decision, or is it going to be the guy that happens to be there that day to give you the bad news? It might just be the way things are in the 21st century.
I think the pinhead suit John Winthrop will be the one who tells me you're out.
But I don't think he's going to be the one that wants you out.
No.
But to your point, the person that makes the decision, I want Michael gone, shouldn't that be the person that makes the phone call or comes into the office and says,
it's not the way it's done. It's not the way it's done in other businesses, but it should have been done by Stearns.
No, I think you're garbage, Michael.
Because that's your first move. Well, and you didn't have the class to tell Buck Showalter, is that some hack?
See, that's the thing. That might be the way of the world. It might be the way everybody does it, but there's no way you can tell me that's the classy way to do it.
No, it was a bad look right off the bat. And you know what? I know exactly what he would say if we asked him. That's in the past. I don't want to go over that.
Well, that's always
because he doesn't have an answer.
That's
other than that, I'm gutless, and I didn't want to face the guy.
And I will say this, and it comes across as complaining. And guys, you know how I feel about guests, so nobody can accuse me.
You think they're whack?
Don's just jealous because these. If Steve Cohen wants to touch base with the fans, where he's tweeting at bloggers. Well, come on our show. You can talk to a bunch of fans. Like, I don't understand why we can't get any Met guests. Why? And don't give me the whole CBS thing. Stop it. Giants come on our show. Islanders come on our show. Devils in the past have come on our show. Nets have come on our show.
How about this former Mets come on our show?
But so I don't know why. And we blame Jay Horowitz. Well, Horowitz is gone. We blame the Wilpons. The Wilpons are gone. What is it that you don't want to come on our show? Why? Because Michael's the Yankee guy and it's the Yes Network? I mean, get over it. We're going to have Darryl Strawberry next week. We had Doc Gooden on. We've had Keith Hernandez on. We've had Ron Darling on.
We've had Gary on.
We've had Gary on. We've had Howie Rose on. I don't care about guests, but obviously our listeners do. So, Steve Cohen wants to tweet people, and he wants to give the perception out that he's trying to reach the fans. What better way to reach the fans than go on both stations? Do a weekly with the fan. Do a weekly with us. Go on anywhere. I mean, that's the way you're going to be able to get to the masses instead of tweeting at a blogger and then taking the tweet down and then lying to us and saying, well, I meant to DM him. I don't get it. I don't understand the logic how a professional baseball team that unfortunately does need the promotion, Michael, because I went to that restaurant last night. It was a sports bar I went to. Peter, there must have been 50 TVs in the restaurant. I had to ask them to put the Met game on.
Were the Yankees up?
The Yankees were up.
You kidding me? That's the Yes Network, ladies and gentlemen.
The ESPN was up with the Caitlin Clark game. Whoever the Fever
they lost, by the way, 0-4 to start.
That was on. They had everything on. Everything under the sun was on. I had to. MLB Network was on. NHL Network on. Can you please put the Met game on? I was asking, can you put C-SPAN on? The mayor of Delaware is on it. Really,
Michael, they had actually a live stream from Mike Brownshires house.
I didn't even know that Delaware State had a mayor. It's
That's
amazing.
right.
You're of Delaware.
No, I was like Delaware County, whatever.
You get the idea.
The point is,
there's not a mayor of counties
I was thinking, remember that taxi where they were the Delawareans or Delawareites, whatever. But I just needed C-SPAN on. They would have. I wouldn't have to ask because it was on.
Right.
One of the 15. I have to ask to put the Met game on, and they think they're above the promotion of going on an afternoon talk show and put Alonzo on and put Steve Cohen on and put Stearns on. Like, you're right now, Met. Hello, McFly. You're completely irrelevant. Everybody's talking Knicks, Rangers. We're talking OTAs. The Yankees are one of the best teams in baseball. You are irrelevant. I had a metropolitan area sports bar. I had to ask, can you put the Met game on? What does that tell you? Hello? Anyone? Promotions?
Now, I actually personally tried to get Cohen last year. I handled it myself, and I spoke to his assistant, and she said, we'll definitely get him on in the next couple of weeks. That was 13 months ago.
Right. So a couple of weeks. So that is what, like 54 weeks ago or thereabouts. So it's a few. I hate it. I just hate the idea. This is my team. That it just drives me crazy. They're irrelevant, Michael. You know, that pains me to say, but they're irrelevant in the sports landscape. And the only time they do come up is when they do something stupid, which is often.
Well, you got that going for you.
Well, you know who's really upset is Anthony because we're really late. They send a hot bag.